What's going on, everybody? Good late morning, and this is the time of week where we usually do a pregame video for the Washington Huskies. So let's go ahead and get through it, even though this is going to be pretty clinical and maybe isn't necessarily what you were expecting from a pregame video, but it's what I have to offer. So, Washington Huskies tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific or 8 p.m. Eastern will be traveling to Penn State to play the Nittany Lions, who are currently ranked sixth in the country and are coming off their only loss of the season, a tough loss to the Buckeyes. So, quite simply, I pretty much know what I'm getting into here. I know exactly what I'm showing up to see, and it's probably not going to make me particularly happy, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to be really looking to be made happy in this game. I know what's going to happen, and I'm going to go ahead and just take it. And if they can pull some amazing upset, then that's obviously awesome. But I will be going into this game tomorrow with the right expectations. 30 hours from now, I will be sitting down and we'll be streaming the game, right? We'll be streaming the game. I will be doing the watch along. So I'll be here and I'll post a stream up a little bit later today to set the time. And around 5 o'clock, I'm going to go live, turn the game on. If you do not get the game because you don't have Peacock or something like that, then I'll do play-by-play. I'll talk about the game, talk about what I think I'm seeing, and basically just do what I do for pretty much every Huskies game now. We can talk about other stuff during the game. It's going to be a evening game, so excuse me. So we don't have to worry about any kind of early wake up call that's putting people in a bad mood or making people not show up. So we're going to have fun with it. We're going to find a way to be entertained. And we're going to hope for the best, but I'm just going to say it. And I think that if you are a Huskies fan watching this video or planning on watching this game or watching me do a watch along stream of the game or whatever, you go into this game with the right expectations. The understanding that we're outmatched. We are traveling all the way across the country when this team has clearly shown they have a difficult time executing when they travel halfway across the country. And you're playing a team loaded with an absolute bevy of talent on the defensive side of the ball. And you know what these more rough and tumble defenses have already done to you this year. It's not hard to put the puzzle pieces together, and I'm putting them together. So Penn State, look, their offense, they got problems on that side of the ball like they kind of always do. Warren's a good tight end. Allar's an interesting quarterback. I'll put it to you that way. I don't know if he's good yet, but he might be good. I think he's good, but I'd like to see a little bit more. And it's not the worst offense out there necessarily, but I don't know if this team's going to be able to cross the whole country, go into such a hostile environment of a fired up Penn State crowd coming off a pretty tough loss to swallow against Ohio State. They are going to they're going to be coming out fierce, I think, because you can afford to lose a game in the current college football playoff environment, but you really don't want to be losing two, especially if one of them is going to be to a mediocre Washington team at home. So we're getting their best shot, and we're not going to be given our best shot. I'll put it to you that way. So I don't really love what's going on over there, but I think we could maybe hold our own. I think our defense could maybe come up with something to make things interesting. The problem is, I don't believe this offense has what it takes to make it interesting against the Penn State D. They are stacked with talent. They've got Abdul Carter. They've got Danny Sutton, two edge rushers. They got great talent at linebacker with Kobe King. They've got great talent at safety with Xavier Nwankpa and Sebastian Castro. It's a bunch of guys who are going to be playing football on Sundays going forward after the next couple seasons at least. A lot of them are going to probably go this season. So it's a bunch of guys who have professional futures in the NFL, and we just don't stack up in that area, right? I've been checking on and off, and routinely the Huskies have only one player projected to get drafted in the draft next year, and that's a guy who might not even necessarily declare, I think, as a party. So there was just a talent deficiency there. And when you look at what this offense has done against the Iowas of the world, where there was just a physical brand of football that we just couldn't handle, and it just didn't really feel like we had much of a chance. There was just a difference in the intensity their defense was bringing that made everything else irrelevant. You're going to see that 5 times more in this game, I think, because Penn State brings even more elite talent to the table here. So it just feels like one of those games where maybe the defense does kind of sort of okay. Maybe they hold Penn State to like 30 points because we do have a good defense here in Washington. I don't want that to get lost in some of the frustrating losses of this season and rough moments. The defense overall has been pretty good. They stat padded against weaker teams maybe, but it's still a good defense. But I cannot foresee a scenario where this offense is able to hold up on the offensive line, and I don't think they have the receiver talent to get open consistently on that secondary. And by the way, I just realized that earlier when I was listing off safeties, I accidentally said the Iowa safeties. I don't know how that happened, but it just my brain rewound to what I just said, and I realized I just read off the name of Iowa safeties, or you know, blurted out. But no, they're actually not on Penn State, so maybe that makes the game a little bit easier. But Penn State, they're still bringing a ton of pro level talent to bear here, so I don't know how we score on them. Maybe we'll put together a couple scoring drives. Maybe we'll get to like 10 or 13 points, but I'm ready to just show up, take the loss, and move on to the next one. This is what I said after the USC game, right? I'm not even really thinking about Penn State because I don't think we can hang with them. We don't have that kind of team right now. I'm thinking about the one remaining game we have that we need to win to get into a bowl game and the fact that the stage is set for us there. But we got to get through this game first. And look, I'm not going to say it's impossible, right? So I am going to sit down in front of the TV for this game and hope we do good, but I at the same time acknowledge that there's no real reason to expect something special to happen here, especially in these circumstances. So it's all good. I get it. This is our rebuilding year, and Penn State's not having a rebuilding year. They're having a typical, maybe even better than typical Penn State season. So it's their time on top. All right. See you guys later. Bow down to Washington. Going to be streaming this game, watch along style, tomorrow. Hope to see you guys there. 30 hours, a little bit less from kickoff. And bow down.